is Rebecca Lorraine, and I am a teacher in China. I thought I would answer the question of how I found a teaching job in China so that if you're looking, you can also find a job overseas, regardless of what specific country you're looking at. Step one for me was I went to TeachAway. If you go to TeachAway,
you'll see that you can register, but before you even register, you can look at what jobs are available.
I'm not an affiliate of TeachAway. I did use them, but I don't get anything for sending you to TeachAway, okay? When I was job hunting, I originally thought that I wanted to go somewhere in Asia, but I wasn't sure specifically where. Through the TeachAway website, I was able to select the general region and then look at different jobs in Asia and see what was available.
So for example, if I select East Asia, I can see the different countries that are hiring in East Asia, and then I can select on the specific country and it'll let me know what job openings there are.
This site is specifically for teachers who are looking to find a job teaching in another country. You do not have to have a teaching degree. Some countries, you only have to have a bachelor's degree of any kind. You can have a bachelor's degree in political science. And then you can get a TEFL, which is a Teaching English as a Foreign Language certificate. So that is going to be a different experience than when you're teaching English in a English-speaking country to newcomers who are coming and speaking another language. So teaching English as a foreign language, you do not have the benefit of the student being surrounded by English. I did not have to get a TEFL because I already have a teaching degree, and I was not specifically teaching English. I was teaching general education, but obviously in English. So the language that I was speaking was English, but I wasn't necessarily teaching English. I started out by teaching the Common Core, which is reading, writing, speaking, and listening, just like I would teach native English speakers. So I was not the ESL teacher at the school, so I did not have to get a TEFL. I just had my regular teaching degree.
So it's not just Asia. If you look, you can choose several different regions. So if like you want Europe, you can click on Europe and you can look at the different countries in Europe that are hiring. So if I scroll down, I can see all these different countries in Europe and choose one of them. So for example, if I see that I really want to teach in Malta, for example, I can click on Malta and I can see what the requirements are. So if I click on Malta, I can see the average salary, I can see the working conditions. So I can see they don't work very much per week, so I guess that salary is okay because you're not working very much. There's no health insurance provided. So that's something to consider, and you might want to look at that for the country. Not everywhere is like America, though. Some places you can actually afford the health care.
I found TeachAway to be quite helpful because you can just enter all of your information with your resume and your recommendation letters and everything onto one website, and then different employers can contact you. I also had to, for one of my interviews, actually drive to another city because that interview was for Abu Dhabi. Getting hired for Abu Dhabi was actually quite a process because it is very competitive because the pay is mwah. So you have to jump through a lot of hoops for that. I did find out through this process that you need to be able to make quick decisions, which I'm not good at. So I actually did get that job teaching for Abu Dhabi, and I had to decide very quickly if I wanted it or not, and it was a little faster than I was thinking. I was thinking I was going to have more time, and it was like a you need to decide now type of thing. So if you're really not sure, it's still fine. I mean, you can just, lose opportunities. That's fine. Like, if you're not sure really which country you want, you can just apply and then see, but just know that you're going to feel a bit of pressure from companies to accept, and you have to combat that and stand firm and be like, oh, sorry, I need time to think. And either they're going to give you that time or they're not going to give you that time. But also that might be an indicator about whether or not you want to work for them to begin with. So yeah, I did end up getting the Abu Dhabi offer and I accepted it, but I told them when I accepted it that I wasn't sure, but that I was just accepting it because they were pressuring me and saying that I wouldn't be able to do it if I didn't accept it. So they were fine with that, I guess. And then I did, in the end, obviously, because I'm in China, I, in the end, turned them down. So actually, whenever you do that, just so you know, with that specific country, you will get blacklisted for a year and you can't teach in that country for a year, or at least not through them. You could get hired through a private school in Abu Dhabi. So there are some other websites you can use. TeachAway is not the only one. I just know that I used TeachAway and it worked for me and I found the experience to be okay. If anything, there was too many offers, so you kind of have to decide what do you want to do. Though if you're from an English-speaking country, there will be a lot of offers. If you speak another language, I don't know what the different dynamics are for that, but I know if you are from an English-speaking country, there will be a lot of offers for you if you have the requirements. But like I said, the requirements aren't that hard. Actually, for some countries, you don't even need a degree. You just need that TEFL, which you can get quite cheaply. If you're looking for a way to get a TEFL cheaply, you can actually look on Groupon. That's what my husband did. He went on to Groupon and just typed in TEFL and managed to get a class for like $89 that met the requirements needed. So some people pay a lot, and some schools are picky about which program they will or will not accept. But in general, if you just want to get like the minimal requirement and whatever is necessary, you could probably check Groupon for some that will count. But getting the TEFL can be expensive if there's a certain program that a certain country wants or there's different qualifications. Make sure whichever country you're thinking about teaching in that you have looked up what the requirements are for that country. Again, I am not working for TeachAway, but I'm just going to say on TeachAway, there are actually some courses you can take and you can get the certifications through TeachAway. So if you want, you can do all that through TeachAway. I personally did not get any certifications through TeachAway, and I don't know anyone who has, but it's there as an option if you want to just do everything through TeachAway. I would recommend going through some kind of vetting website that is going to make sure that the schools are real schools. There is definitely a very real problem where some countries there are basically fake schools or schools that aren't legally allowed to hire you as a foreigner, and that can be an unsafe position to be in. So make sure that you are, if you're not going to use a website or if you have a contact for a certain school, make sure to really look up that school.
Also, I just want to point out that sometimes if you have a contact or you use an agent, they can take some money. So you need to also make sure that you're communicating with the school. Yes, you do need to pay an agent, but sometimes I've heard of some really shady deals, like where the agent was taking money every single month from the person for their whole contract length. That is excessive to just connect you to another school. TeachAway did not charge me anything. I don't know if it charges the companies. I'm assuming it makes money somehow, but I was not charged anything through TeachAway.
Just because it's a real school with a website and everything doesn't mean they're legally allowed to hire you as a foreigner. Especially in China, this can be a problem. There's certain requirements that schools must meet in order to be able to hire foreigners, and you need to be very careful with that. So I would recommend going through some kind of website that is going to vet the schools for you. I honestly don't know how you would check it. So for China, if you have a friend in China, and that's why you're wanting to come to China, they could actually search up the business and the business name, ask the school that you're thinking about working for their business name, and they could search it for you and see if they're allowed to hire foreigners or not. It's going to depend on what they're labeled as. So that's just what I know for China. I'm sure there's different rules in every country, but you're going to definitely need to be careful about that and make sure that wherever you're working is legally allowed to hire you as a foreigner and is giving you a real work visa and not a fake one. If they're having you come over on a tourist visa, that is a red flag. Do not accept a position where they're going to originally have you come to the country as a tourist visa and then switch it later. Sometimes that's true, and they do switch it later, but more often than not, they do not. And this, like I said, this is mostly speaking from China, but that happens a lot. People come over on the tourist visa, and then they keep making excuses as to why they haven't switched them to a work visa. And this is a big problem. It puts you in a dangerous position. You can get fined if you're working without a work visa, and you need to be careful with that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would really help me out, as right now I am a baby YouTuber just starting out on my big YouTube journey. So thank you for your support in watching this video all the way through, and I appreciate it, and please consider giving it a like. Let me know what other questions you have about China or working in China, and I would be happy to answer those questions. Just let me know in the comment what questions you have. Alright, thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye!